I struggled so much as an entrepreneur. It's natural that I would want to help other entrepreneurs not struggle as much as I did.
Leaving your six-figure investment banking path, what prompted you to leave that and to want to build something on your own?
The fear of regret.
Welcome to the Shift with Tamoa. Today's guest is an amazing individual, amazing human being. Today, we are going to be interviewing Evan Carmichael. He is an entrepreneur, an author, and one of the most influential voices in the world of belief driven leadership. Evan is best known for helping millions of entrepreneurs build confidence, clarity, and momentum by teaching them how to believe in themselves even before the results show up. Through his books, speaking, and movement maker community, which I am a part of, he has helped people stop playing small and start building lives and businesses that actually align with who they're meant to be. I'm really excited for this conversation and for the perspective he brings. Welcome, Evan.
Let's go. What an intro. I should take you with me everywhere. That's a great intro.
Well, I mean
Great
it.
to-
So, the conversation today, we are going to be exploring how entrepreneurs' self worth and relationships with money influence how they price their products or services, how they receive income, how they value their work, and really focusing on our internal money beliefs and how they show up in our business growth. And what I wanted to start with you today is from where you started, because you were very young, you know what I mean, just starting an entrepreneurship and leaving your six-figure investment banking path. What prompted you to leave that and to want to build something on your own?
the fear of regret.
Mm,
So Jeff Bezos has uh, he calls it the regret minimization framework, which is sounds pretty boring, but it's basically just live life with as few regrets as possible. And so his advice is fast forward to the end of your life and then look back on this moment in time. And would you regret doing the thing or not doing the thing? And whatever you think you might regret, then go and do that thing so you don't regret it.
mm,
And it's very rarely the things that we do that we regret. It's the things that we didn't do. It's like, oh, I wish I did that. I wish I called the person. I wish I took a chance. I wish I believed myself more. I wish. And so the benefit of doing that isn't, I mean, the goal isn't to inflict a lot of pain on yourself. The goal is to use that as a benchmark, because when you are actually at the end of your life, you can't make any changes. But if you can fast forward and project out there, good news. It's still, you're still young. You can still do it. There's still time. You can actually go and now do those things that you're afraid of. I didn't think it was going to work out. I thought the most likely outcome was failure, but I would rather know and fail than not know, because I thought, you know what, I can always go get another job. It may not be the same job, may not be the same money, may not be the same company, but I could get another job ish like that.
mhm.
This opportunity may never come again. So I need to at least, even if it fails, I need to at least know so I can move on. Otherwise, I knew it would haunt me for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Okay, because you were so young, where do you think just that mindset, yes, okay, you didn't know what the outcome is, you weren't sure, but just like literally taking the risk, where do you think that came from?
I don't know that it was that big a risk, I guess. I guess people outside look at it as a risk. For me, I thought it was actually the safe thing to do. I thought the risky thing was not knowing. The thing that reduced the risk for me was just telling myself I can get another job. So I said, I'll try this for a year. We'll see how it goes. Some of my friends were taking a year off and backpacking or whatever, doing something else, taking an off year before get into the workforce. And
Mm,
so I thought, okay, this is going to be my off year and just see what happens. And I never ended up going and getting a job, but I didn't actually see it as risky. I thought the risky thing was to not do it and then live with regret. And I think Jeff Bezos's model is like, look at to when you're 80. I couldn't think that. I was 19. So I
right.
projected out to 40. I thought 40 was old. Like 40, I'm 40. How old am I now? I'm
No, me
46.
too, right? And then you look and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm
I'm
that
40.
age."
I'm 40. I'm 46 this year. Um, but when I was 19, I thought 40 is like, it's over. Like your life is over. You're finished, you know. And so I said, when I'm an old man and it's all over at 40, I'm going to look back on this moment and regret it. And so I had to just go off and do it. So I actually didn't. It's funny. I think it also relates to the topic around beliefs and money and language and what we tell ourselves, because I actually didn't think of it was risky. Other people look at it and say, "Oh, that was a really risky move." Like, really? I think not going for it is the risky move. That wasn't even a mental game for myself. I thought it was actually the smarter thing to do because I
Mm.
could get another job, but I may not get this opportunity again. So I might as well just go and try it. It didn't feel risky to me, at least, but I can see how for others it seems risky from the outside.
And I've learned that later in life because I what I call, like, kind of like the programming of what we were taught, thinking that this was actually safe. But to me, it's safer, like you said, to bet on you because no matter what, like, your visions, everything you align with, it's you. You live your life every day. Yes, you may get direction from someone, but at the end of the day, you are the person that creates the thing. So, totally understand that. I know that you talked about at some point feeling like worthless, a failure, those types of things that you were talking about. But fast forward, what gave you knowing, okay, I have this idea and I've done these things, and then I want to be able to put this belief out into the world to help other entrepreneurs? Like, what inspired you to actually to do that? Because while you said at 19 you have all these belief systems, the average person, um, my in my experience, doesn't have that mindset, doesn't have that belief, doesn't even understand how money works and how we attract, people and money by who we become. What gave you that strength to just go out and say, "I'm gonna show people that this is something that they can do too?"
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you asked some great questions. I don't know that I would even call it strength. I think just slowly walked a path and things fell into place. I think if I was going back, I could have been a lot more strategic than I was. So my answer as a 46-year-old would be different than my answer at when did I sell my company? 22, I guess, when I started. So if I go back to 22, I sold my business. We had a nice exit. I wasn't like set for life, but like good money for a 22-year-old with no responsibilities. Um, and I didn't know what to do. So I was just saying yes to everything. I said yes to speaking. I said yes to a bunch of, I mean, I was just in experimental mode. And I hit some media, young entrepreneur success story, whatever. And I was invited to come and speak at these international events. And I represented my country, Canada, at a couple of these international events for young entrepreneurs. Um, And so I was speaking in Mexico City and Brunei, and I didn't even seek it out. It just like they saw me, I guess, in an article or whatever, and said, "Can you represent the Canadian delegation at these events?" Like, okay,
Mm,
sure. I mean, I was just saying yes to everything. When you don't know what to do, you just say yes and see what sticks. So I said yes, and then that led to me speaking in these different countries, and I thought, huh, like what? Why don't I it's fun, but why not why do I have to go to Mexico or Brunei? Like, what about North America? There's a lot of people here who
mhm,
also are struggling with the same thing. Like, that could be cool. And so then I started doing small speaking gigs and, went to my local I think I did out of a library and then out of a bank, and then we just kept growing. Like, I had these weekly events that I would just do speaking for free. I'd like, no, I didn't even know what I was doing. It just felt fun.
mm,
Um to then we did it at a bookstores and then grew too big for bookstores. And then I started getting asked to speak at different events and getting paid to speak. And that led to a YouTube channel. Like looking backwards, I guess, is like the Steve Jobs that all make the docs connect looking backwards, but looking forwards, I had no idea what I was doing. Um, so 22-year-old Evan, who just sold his business, had no clue what he was doing and just saying yes because he was bored and was trying to find his next thing because what he just spent the past 3 years of his life doing was now gone.
mhm,
46-year-old Evan would say, your purpose comes from your pain. Whatever you struggle the most with is the thing you want to help others through. So, because I struggled so much as an entrepreneur, it's natural that I would want to help other entrepreneurs not struggle as much as I did. So, whatever, everybody has been through something, and it's just natural to want to help other people who are currently on that path not suffer and struggle as
mm,
much as you did. And so, I think your purpose comes from your pain. Um, I've written some books on that, but that's a lot more strategic looking back. So I think people can
Mhm.
get there faster. If I was having a conversation with me, 46-year-old Evan talking to 22-year-old Evan, I could hopefully make an imprint there. Uh, but I didn't. Yeah, I didn't feel particularly courageous when I was 22 doing things. I felt mostly lost. My identity was gone in this business, and I was, hopeful to try to find something else. But I didn't want to go get a job. But my business was gone because I sold it. My business partners were gone because they went with the company. So I was just by myself trying to figure out what to do next.
Mhm.
And saying yes to everything might be courageous, I guess, but I didn't feel particularly courageous at the time.
Most of the time, we don't when we're in it, right? It doesn't feel like that. So, getting into the business part and what you were saying and building your company at such a young age and doing all of these things, when we talk about our money mindset as entrepreneurs, when did you have the belief or connecting your money mindset into the business?
Yeah, so I think there's two main things with money and entrepreneurs. The first is growing up, people usually have an unhealthy perspective on money, good or bad. A lot of people grow up and say money is the root of all evil, right?
Mhm.
It's actually a misquote. It's the love of money is the root
Yes.
of all, but we just forget that it's the love of, and we just anyway. But
Mhm.
a lot of people grow up and like that's the default, so you think money is bad. Um, and there's others who just think, oh, money. That person coming in, that's my next pair of shoes, that's my next purse, that's my next car, and you're only seeing dollar signs, and that's all you're chasing. Well, it's like neither. Money is a tool to help you accomplish awesome things, and um, as I've written about, I think money needs to be in your top 5. It just can't be number 1. So as an entrepreneur, you have to make money. I mean, even if you're a charity, you have to make money. Money is
Mhm.
a extremely valuable tool. Uh, and so if it's not in your top 5, whatever your mission is just it stays on the weekends and the evenings, and you never actually achieve your mission because you're just doing it by yourself part-time because you never make money. So you have to make money. It has to be in your top 5. It just can't be number 1. There's got to be something more important than money. There's got to be a mission. There's got to be something you're. At least I believe that. And those are the people that
Mhm.
you mentioned, movement makers. It's the people that I try to help, try to surround myself with. People, yeah, we are ambitious. We want to change the world. We want to make money, and like there's a mission for all of us that comes ahead of the making the money. But making money isn't bad in itself. Um, I think a lot of entrepreneurs undercharge for their services. I think part of it is the belief that money is evil, or that I can't charge for my products or my services, that it's not good enough. I also think though that we're often talking to the wrong people. I think we're just dealing with the wrong clients a lot of the times. So
Mhm.
you're talking to people who just can't afford you or see the value in what you do, and because they don't see the value, then you devalue yourself. And quite often the only problem is you're just talking to the wrong person. So, I mean, you have a beautiful painting behind you. I don't know the story of that. If you made that, it was the first thing I saw when I loaded the camera on. Whether there's a story, you did it, you bought it, it's an artist. Like where did that painting come from?
Literally, I bought it from TJ Maxx. It was so
Okay,
beautiful. I was like, "This looks like it should be in a museum somewhere," and I was
yeah,
like,
I
"I'm
love
gonna
it.
put it behind me."
Right, but who knows what the story is? So that's the
Yeah.
story of that one, right? TK Maxx, very cool. But it's the kind of thing like, how much would somebody pay for a painting?
Yeah,
You could have the most talented artist in the world, right? And they make a painting, but most of the world would look at that and say, what is this? Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't pay $10 for that. Yet it's worth like millions of dollars to somebody else. And so if that artist started talking to most of the world, they would think that they are a failure. I can't even get somebody to pay $10. If you're trying to sell your awesome paint, you take whatever painting is hanging up, uh, besides the Mona Lisa or paintings that we all know, right? Like you take
Mhm.
some painting that might be worth millions of dollars, and then you walk down the street and say, "Hey, you want to buy this painting?" Like you might get $100 for it.
Exactly, yep.
And so that's the challenge. Is like you have work that you're creating that may not be worth millions of dollars yet, but it's worth more than $100. And because we're talking to the wrong people who don't see the value, then we start to feel like there's no value. Like I can't even sell my painting for $100. I guess I suck and I should stop doing this. But then there's like something in us that pulls us to want to keep doing this for some reason.
Mhm.
And so quite often it's just talking to people who see the value in what you do instead of trying to convince the wrong people. And that's what we often end up doing is trying to convince the wrong people that what we have is great and they should buy it instead of, cool, you don't see the value? Awesome. Like if you don't want to build a movement, great. I'm not here to convince you to try to go off and do that because that's going to be a massive energy drain. And I'd rather pour it into people who are already aligned and looking for the how. And
Mm,
so we just spend too much time on people who not even are bad people, just people who aren't aligned with what we're trying to create and where we're trying to go. And as a result, it devalues ourselves. So I think that combination of like growing up with weird perspectives on money, mostly because our parents didn't have a healthy view on money. And so that's how you learned it, probably, right?
yep,
We learned it from our parents.
yep,
Um, Especially, like us of a certain age, like we didn't have the
mhm,
internet necessarily growing
no,
up and we didn't have podcasts to listen to and like the world has changed, which is awesome now. Like you can whatever mindset you want, there's amazing creators making content around that you can inject into your brain right now. The best teachers are on YouTube. But I think a lot of us grew up with an unhealthy mindset around money that came from our parents and family. And then when we actually go and start to create our products and services, we're mostly just talking to the wrong people who don't see the value. So then we devalue ourselves as well. And
mm.
that's a major problem that causes a lot of entrepreneurial failures.
Yeah. So honestly, Evan, that's how I decided to become a financial therapist. Of course, I was a mental health therapist, but once I got into the financial side and started building business and thinking about my own experience, all the financial trauma as young and then growing up, and then I started talking to clients, and the first thing they would tell me was their story behind what I was wanting to solve. And I was like, oh, wait, this is a thing. Like, they're not able to move forward because of the fear, because of the mindset, what happened to them when they were younger, who they talked to, and all of that. And it clicked for me. I was like, this is a really big deal, but nobody talks about it. And then when I think about entrepreneurs, it's like how we're thinking about money, how we deal with money on our personal side is going to bleed into our business. There's no way it's not. So, that is, like, why I am so passionate about it. My own experience, like you said, your passion is your pain because I dealt with that for so long. So that is 100%. It was like I was listening to you tell my story just now. So, um, what would you tell an entrepreneur when it comes to their mindset around money and really, like, if there's I guess I don't quite like the word hack, but if there was a shift, right, that they could really, do to help them to understand their self-worth when it comes to their services, their products. I know you said talking to the right client. I definitely believe that we need that. But just their mindset on their value on who they are and what they want to put out into the world.
Yeah. I would say would start with understanding what is your money story? What do you believe about money? What does money mean to you? These are even like for anybody's listening, watching, as I say that, what starts to come up in your mind? Like you say, what does money mean to you, Evan? It's like it's an awesome, super valuable tool that helps me build my mission.
Mm,
Like, so what does money mean to you? And whether it's like people who have money are evil or they're greedy or they're whatever. Sure, there's lots of people with money who are evil and greedy. There's lots of people without money who are evil and greedy too. Right? Like
this is
there's
true.
so what is your because you need a starting point. If you want to change a behavior, change a belief, change a pattern, we need a starting point. And so if your starting point is, hey, money um, is evil, or someone like me can never get rich, or like whatever these stories are that we might have, cool. Dan Sullivan likes to say, all progress begins with telling the truth. It's like,
Mm,
what is the actual truth, not the story that we're telling us? What's the actual truth behind it? And cool. Okay, I'm not good enough here. My beliefs are not strong enough here. Great. Now you can supplement. And chances are your environment right now is perfectly designed to keep you where you are.
mm,
The people you hang out with, the friends you have, your parents. Obviously, we're not going to change that, but you can start to change your environment. Like just the awareness of understanding who it is that you want to be in, the belief that you want to have, you can now put those people in. So if listening to Tamoa is um, helping you make shifts, great. She has more content. Like subscribe to that channel, right? and unfollow people who make you feel worse. Like most people will load Instagram and go through it uh, and feel worse about themselves. You'll sit there for an hour doom scrolling
Mhm.
and then stop and feel worse.
Yep.
Cool. Unsubscribe and unfollow all those people who made you feel worse. Load up YouTube, find some amazing educators who are sharing a positive message because the positivity exists too.
Mm.
You know, like when I go to my YouTube, my Instagram, I'm seeing entrepreneurship stuff. I'm seeing belief stuff. I'm seeing motivational videos. I'm seeing salsa dancing because I know a salsa dance studio. I'm seeing funny dashun videos because we have a little miniature hot dog. Um, I'm not seeing the negativity because I don't interact with that kind of content. And so being very careful to now, most people have been just reacting to what's fed at them and it exposes our insecurities. Okay, cool. We're telling the truth now. Great. I want to replace that with what? Because there are people who believe what you want to believe and they're making content. So surround yourself
Mhm.
with that daily. I do a morning walk. I call it my believe walk. And I wake up every day, get outside, and I put on something while I'm walking that helps me believe in myself more. It could be a video from my channel, it could be something else that inspires me. But I have Steve Jobs in my ear, I have Howard Schultz in my ear. I've got something that
Mhm.
reminds me to believe more in myself and play a bigger game. And so I think it starts with the habits and the routines. And if you find something, like if it's this interview that finally gets somebody to get fired up, cool, subscribe to this channel, learn more. If there's something else that happens that gets you fired up, cool. We have these moments of inspiration that happen. It could be meeting a friend, it could be watching a video, it could be listening to a podcast, reading a book. When you have that thing that fires you up, don't let it be this random happy accident. Schedule it now to be part of your daily routine so that that's part of every day. You've got a little bit of that injected in you because even if you have the best day of all time, you wake up tomorrow and
Mm.
you're starting over.
Yep.
Like, what does Ziegler say? Motivation is like brushing your teeth. You have to do it daily.
It's true.
So having a daily morning routine that
Yeah.
even if you don't feel like doing it, like even if you don't feel like it's cold in Canada, it's snow, it's minus, like freezing. Great. I don't want to go outside. It's nice and warm in here, but I still do it. And I feel
Mm.
better because I've been inspired by somebody as well as getting some fresh air.
Yeah. And I love that. And I keep saying to people, I live in the uncomfortable, but it's like I'm comfortable being uncomfortable because at some point the uncomfort becomes a regular thing and you start normalizing it and it's okay because your purpose is bigger and what you need to do is bigger. So 100%. And I just want to tell you, anytime I bring up your name around someone, especially recently since I've been in movement makers, they're like, "Oh, wait, I know who you're talking about. I mean, the guy that does the believe messages." So well, even if someone doesn't follow you, I just want to tell you that how inspiring you are for someone that doesn't read your books, doesn't know exactly what you do, but they've connected you with that belief factor of someone just listening to you and being like, okay, I can start my day out different. I can think different. I can believe in myself a little bit more. So I just want to thank you for doing that every day. I am so grateful to have spoken to you today. You've taken out your time, and your time is very, very valuable. And I hope that this has inspired entrepreneurs, if you're not an entrepreneur, but just a person to just take a leap and to just let go and really believe in themselves. And I would like everyone to remember that you are your greatest value. You are your greatest asset. Take care.